On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Caught it! Dwight!
Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
And that'll do it. It's over. The Golden State Warriors return to a familiar place. They're on top of the NBA world.
We're down to 2, now to 1. Here's Jordan. Yes! It is all over. The Chicago Bulls.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah, baby! It's Monday. Yes, it is Monday. Good morning. Welcome to the Manic Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Man, I got a lot to do. We got a lot to do in a short time to get there, but a couple quick updates, and they go like this. I'm going to cut the show at 2 hours because I want to be sure that everything pops off the way that it pops off, and I'm able to get rest. So that's one thing. The other thing, all the extras will be on Snowman in the Morning Plus. I just built the YouTube channel for that, and I will release it when the okay comes in for me to stream to that channel. So let me say good morning to Ryan McCoffey, who will join us later. AB Media out of Indianapolis, Indiana, and I will touch on the Colts a little bit later. And Sig Diggy joining us from Norway. It is the Manic Monday edition. Let the madness begin. I'm awaiting my partner. He's on the way. Sorry I'm late. Had to run out and make sure I got, I got breakfast and take care of my meds and everything like that. Special birthday shout out to Ben Sutterth, the third, the man in charge of the BS3 network. How does Cole describe it? The owner, the operator, and the manipulator. That's what I'm looking for. Ryan McCoffey will join us in about 25 minutes to talk Jets, Jets. The end of the baseball season is upon us. Jay Spivey will join us to talk the end of Christian McCaffrey and the Carolina Panthers, all that good stuff. But as we always do, we start with the whip around powered by Fanatics. And this whip around starts in St. Louis, where Albert Pujols, yes, that Albert Pujols, hit number 702 in his final at-bat at Busch Stadium. And speaking of my partner and one of my best friends, here he is. Cole Johnson joins me. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Yeah, man. I took the liberty of putting parts of the show together because I wanted to get the description out there and learning a lot from this past Friday with what the hell happened Friday? International Podcast Day. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to make sure the hashtags were out and things like that. But Albert Pujols got number 702 yesterday.
Morning, sick.
The Cardinals are the NL Central Division champions, and I'm glad of that because as long as it's not the Cubs, I'm happy. And now Cole will take the whip around from here.
How exciting is this? You have week 4. You have it starting with the Vikings and Saints in London, and we get a doink to end the game.
Double doink.
Oh my gosh! And what made it?
And I look that field goal looked good.
Yeah, it looked
from
good.
61.
Yeah, it looked good right off the foot. And what made it even worse he made a 60-yarder not too long before that. So
2 minutes prior.
Yeah.
2 minutes prior.
So it wasn't out of the realm of possibility for him to make it.
Right.
But that double doink ended extremely exciting 20-25 contest between the Vikings and the Saints.
Oh, it was a hell of a game.
Yeah.
Hell of a game.
Back and forth, each offensive defense took turns making plays.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really good contest, but it was unfortunate that that game had to end on a double doink. I know Bears fan, you know exactly how that is, because that's how a season of yours ended in the playoffs.
2018, and this time, and you didn't hear the double. You didn't hear the double.
You didn't hear this one, yeah.
You saw it.
Mm-hmm.
You saw it, and just when it started peeling, toward the left upright, I went, "Oh no, this can't be." Doink, doink.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
You have got to be kidding me. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
So
but that's the ending.
Yeah, that's
28-25. And what was with those black helmets? Who the hell drew that? I knew that would get you. Who the hell drew those helmets?
So the NFL wanted to appeal to the kids, and they wanted to make these alternative helmets. You're going to see many more of these atrocities throughout the year. So that is the Saints atrocity.
We saw one Thursday night.
Yes, another one you saw Thursday.
We saw one, and I did a live reaction to that game. I did live. It was pretty good. It was the turnout was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on. The Atlanta Braves. Go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The Panthers lose again. Details at 9:35 a.m.
The Atlanta Braves and the New York Mets are in, and so are the Seattle Mariners.
Oh, they clinched in style too.
They did. I believe it was a walk-off
it was a walk-off homer. It was a walk-off homer in
homer that sent the Pacific Northwest into happy hysterics.
Because if I'm not mistaken, that's the first time in doggone it. I know it's been a minute.
2001.
I think it's so it has been 20 years. Over 20
2001.
years. Yeah, over 20 years. Okay.
So
I knew it was over 1 decade. I couldn't remember it was over 2.
So I talked to my buddy Dave Sims, and I wanted to get him for an interview for Thursday, but they will be traveling to Toronto.
How does he feel about the Mariners advance to the playoffs?
Do you have to ask such a question?
I'm happy for them. Although, yes, I know they're in the same division as the Astros. I still am happy for them.
And I was pulling for Seattle to get in the playoffs. I made that clear before the All-Star break because they were hot. And then they ran into Houston. Yeah. And Houston. I love the Mariners, but I love your Astros too. And Houston whipped that ass.
Yeah, that was the end of their AL West hopes. It's like,
they ran it. So Houston came to Seattle and was like, sit down.
Yeah. So, okay, so we're not good enough to win the division, so we got to retool and go for wild card.
And they did.
And that's exactly what they did.
And they did. And I love the fact that the Mariners are in the playoffs. Let's see how far they can get. Let's carry on.
Go ahead.
The Phoenix Suns lost to the Adelaide 36ers. I wish I was making this up. I know you're not, but why are we talking about this? I swear to God, I wish I was making this up because when I saw the schedule,
it's 2 weeks.
Are you okay, partner? What's wrong?
We are 2 weeks.
Yes.
And 1 day from when the season starts while we talking about this crap. We all know the Suns are catatonic.
The Suns are toast.
We all know the Suns is trying to rival the Lakers and the Nets for being a soap opera.
You ready for the score? 134-124.
Good Lord, have mercy.
And they beat them in Phoenix. They
Monty?
beat them in Phoenix.
Monty, you know the team that you had that went to the finals 2 years ago, and the team that had the best record in the league but couldn't get to the conference finals. You might have a team that's not as good as either one of them right now. So I think you're not really talking to certain people. It's about to bite you in the behind.
24 of 43 from three-point distance for Adelaide last night. 24 of 43.
Can you say they need to practice defense?
Yeah. They later in the week, I'll have an NBA discussion. And yes, I'm going to refer back to that god-awful, effed up, backwards list.
Oh, you mean where Golden State's going to finish 8th in the West?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, Lord.
I talked about that on Snowman in the Morning Plus on Friday when I did the International Podcast Day.
Yeah, people didn't believe me. People didn't believe me when I said that ESPN article actually said that this is what they predicted.
The LJPN article.
The LJPN article. Although they did say that the Lakers are going to be 9th. But yeah.
That should tell you everything you need to know. And I think my partner has one final note before we close the whip around.
The Packers. The Ayahuasca is working fine.
Ayahuasca worked.
But they needed a field goal in overtime to beat the second string, I almost say third string, basically, Patriots quarterback squad, 27-24 in Lambeau. Now, I would understand if this was in Gillette, but no, it was participated on the not so frozen tundra of Lambeau. But
okay, John Facenda.
It begins with a whistle. It ends with a gun. 60. I'm sorry.
All hail John Facenda.
Oh, I love John Facenda. I love
all hail. Listen, I got nothing against the late great Harry Callis because Callis took over the voiceover after Facenda passed away.
Wonderful voice too. Yes.
But if there are two voices that I want to narrate my biography, one would be John Facenda and the other would be Harry Callis.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you a wild card. John Sterling. I know John Sterling would take it and run with it.
Oh yeah, he would. But yes, I give you extreme credit. I'm almost proud of you, but understand something, Packers fan.
Y'all are toast.
Go ahead.
Y'all are toast.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. But it's October 2nd, now 3rd. Do this in 3.5 months, and then maybe I will be impressed.
Do this on the real frozen tundra of Lambeau Field when it counts.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
We're talking about the
playoffs.
Yes. Like my Texans are saying, we're just trying to win a game. Yeah.
I love you, Jim Mora.
Yes. Thank you.
I said that. I said that. Yes, I said that yesterday, and my wife started cracking up laughing.
Well, I'm sure she understands that because that's
where
he had the meltdown.
Man, she understands better than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
She understands better than anybody. That'll close the whip around for this morning. You see what a full night's sleep can do for you? Take a break, and when we come back, some general stuff, and then Ryan McCoffey will join us. Along with Cole Johnson, I'm the Snowman. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Have you had a chance to visit the Snowman in the Morning shop yet? You haven't? Then what are you waiting for? Go to officialsitmorn.com. Check out the shop when you type in the word shop, and you'll see themes like, a coffee mug that's available, a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, and a whole lot more. And while you're buying items from the Snowman in the Morning shop, you can support the Snow Strong Carolina mission. We got a lot to do in a short time to get there. Go to officialsitmorn.com/shop. Check out all of the gear and wear the same gear that the crew wears. And when you're doing that, tell them Snowman sent you.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Steph Curry.
Tim Anderson.
Jordan Alvarez.
And it's caught. Deebo Samuel with the catch. Michael Jordan consents.
The Fro just got the king.
BS3 Network.
The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Hey everybody, Snowman here, and thanks for listening to this episode of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Want to tell you about a little thing we like to call Monkey Knife Fight. Wait, what in the world is that, you may ask? Well, Monkey Knife Fight is a daily fantasy site where you can play your favorite games, support your favorite players, and make money at the same time. And right now, if you go to monkeyknifefight.com and use the code Snowman, you will get a 100% deposit match on up to $100 on your initial deposit. Go to monkeyknifefight.com and use the code Snowman for an up to 100% deposit on your first deposit of up to $100. Thanks, and tell them Snowman sent you.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Well, my dear Dr. K, official SIT Morn is the site that you need. Official SIT Morn. And join us on Patreon, patreon.com/SIT Morning. I'm going to make my partner laugh because I was perusing social media during the break.
During the Lord.
During the break. Yeah, I was doing that. I was perusing social media. And I saw something that's going to make my partner laugh out loud. Open it, please.
Quote.
Anthony Davis says his personal goal is to play all season games. He's looking forward to reach his elite level of basketball.
Close quote.
English, do you speak it? English, do you speak it? English, do you speak it?
I knew that would get you. I knew that would get you.
Graduate from the first grade, and then we can talk about this.
Please.
Goodness.
Please. I swear to God, I swear to God, I wrote that. I read that and I said, oh, no, I got to talk about this.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm getting too old for this.
We both are.
Yeah.
We both are. To the Fanatics Feedback Zone, let's welcome some people. Sick Diggy in the house. Victor Locke with us. Ryan McCoffey will join us in 6 minutes.
That's right.
And the Playmaker's in the house with us. He'll join us Wednesday for
Wednesday.
full.
Oh, okay.
I think he'll join us tomorrow and Wednesday.
Oh.
And Wednesday, he told me he can hang out for the full 2 hours.
Oh, really?
Yes. So we got a shotgun rider for the full 2 hours. Trying my best wise impersonation. It's Monday, not Wednesday. Victor, I know it's Monday. I'm not going to push the button, but I got something special for Wednesday.
So do I.
Good. And yes, it involves a conversation.
Not it involves a conversation. Oh, Lord.
I'll give you.
All right, give me a snippet. Give me a clue.
I'll give you a clue. I won't read the post. Say that for Wednesday. Because if I read the post, I'm going to have to push a button, and we don't have time.
Right.
Michael Quinn called me a clown because I said, "Open it."
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Okay, so you said, quote,
there has never been a best form of, and I got quite a few reasons for my claim.
Close quote.
Mike Connor responded in kind and said, be careful. The stands don't like facts and they'll call you a hater. And I acted like The Rock and said, just bring it. I want them all to bring it. It's like you said to me 2 years ago when I was in Carolina. I went through this in a couple of conversations that we taped, and then Cole just busted out, oh, you want all the smoke? Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And then Xavier Wilkins, and I'll cut it here. Xavier Wilkins said the following, and you're going to love this. Open it.
Quote.
You must not watch ball if you think that, my boy, spelled B-O-I.
Oh, he's trying to be discreet. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mr. Wilkins.
Close quote.
Thank you.
Wow.
Mr. Wilkins, don't try to be discreet when you don't have the skills, okay? I'm from Chicago. I'm from the South Side. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, burnt the blankety blank when I got done with it. Okay? But what I did say in kind was, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I've forgotten more basketball than you have watched, sir. And I've seen much better than LeBron.
Close quote. So that's right. Tune in Wednesday when you will see a conversation with this gentleman, and we will tear down more of the utter blasphemy.
Victor Locke said, "Are these guys auditioning for LJPN?" Oh, I don't think they need to audition. They're already there. They don't need to audition. They're already there.
Not audition.
Wait. And Playmaker. Oh, bless it. Bless your heart. Bless your heart, Darnell. Great. A conversation for Wednesday. More ignorance on the way.
Oh, of course.
Brother, you have no idea.
Yes. 100. And since you
have no idea.
And since you're knowledgeable in b-ball, you already know the ignorance that we display on here, that we basically are mirrors of.
Hey, not ignorance.
Not ignorance.
Ignorance.
That
because
we
we're
basically
dealing
just mirrors and
because we're dealing with it because we're dealing with ignorant folks here.
Yes.
F Holiday in the house. Good morning, sir.
What's
if
up,
y'all
man?
can, please subscribe to the channel if it's your first time here.
I love
and
it.
support.
I love it.
What did he put up?
It looks like a seal.
Clap, you seals! Oh boy! If you can, while we're on here, we're trying to reach a $500 goal each and every day toward the Snow Strong Foundation. Support us via Cash App. The tag you need is $Tallman Dr. K50.
And I'm with you.
Wait.
Don't wish this on anyone. I'm with you.
I don't either.
Good morning, brother.
He said, "Open it." This seal said,
quote,
"I mean, you can look better when you're playing plumbers and substitute teachers with barely to no dribble handle."
Close quote. Lord have mercy.
Because we take this job so serious.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Xavier Wilkins on Wednesday morning, beware.
And that concludes a teaser of more on Wednesday.
Thank you. Because if I keep going, I'll push the button, and I don't want to push the button.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want Wise popping in my head or Victor's version of Wise popping in my head doing, it's only Monday. You don't.
Wait. Just so you know, it's not Wednesday. It's Monday. Yeah.
I don't want that. I don't want Wise popping up at the last second going, "I was enjoying the show in the background."
What up,
King Dog? What's going on, man?
What up, brother?
do you know we got a lot of people watching this morning and a lot of people listening too. And I am thrilled to make this announcement. The SDM Sports Radio Network is alive and kicking. Full release was Monday. Was Saturday, I beg your pardon.
You got a deal, Playmaker. You got a deal, brother.
Play it now. The hell with it. Play it now.
Because we take this job so serious.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
I messed up.
Oh, so you like that,
Ryan
Drew?
Yep.
You like that, Drew? I like
LJPN. Yeah, hey, what did I tell you? My partner, one of my best friends in broadcasting and in life, took a 20-year mediocre career and squashed it down to 7 minutes.
Your boy Victor tells too much.
You know what?
No,
I'm gonna wait. I almost opened the book and summoned the ever living, but I'm trying to be nice. Man, listen.
I love you, Victor.
We're all trying to be nice.
Oh my God.
We're all trying to be nice. Look at Royston.
Oh yeah, push
the button.
Yeah,
I can't.
I saw that.
I cannot push the button.
We would derail the rest of this show.
The rest of the 2 hours, except for when Ryan is here and when Jay is here, would be off the rails.
Yeah, we try not to do that because, if this,
unlike other shows, unlike other sports shows, we actually have subject matter.
Yeah,
that we discuss.
What's up, D Scott?
D Scott, what's going on, man? Hey,
there's a button.
There's a button we need to push. Because it is time
to drink
some coffee.
As he joins us every Monday.
Why does that beat always get me?
It gets Ryan too.
Apparently, yes.
As he joins us every Monday at 8:35.
It's a hot beat. It is.
It is Coffee with McCarthy with our resident fam member, and no credentials required, Ryan McCarthy. How you doing, man?
Good morning, gentlemen. It's Victory Monday where I am.
Yes, it is.
And what better way to celebrate Victory Monday with some ice cream?
There you go. What kind of ice cream we got?
You know what? What's awesome is that Little Debbie actually started making
Little Debbie
ice creams.
Which oatmeal cream pies. Man, listen. My sister first introduced me to Little Debbie because she went to the convenience store that was a few blocks from my parents' house and came upstairs and she says, "I got a present for you." I said, "All right, what?" She says, "Close your eyes." And she stuck that in my hand and I devoured it as soon as I got it. JETS.
We have a love-hate relationship, Little Debbie and I.
Same.
Really?
Same.
I think we all do.
Same. And they shrunk over the years.
That's because we got bigger. We grew up. we grow up and they get smaller.
But see,
Lord.
I'm still
no.
Yes.
I now have the Days of Confused line from Matthew McConaughey playing in my head.
Oh no.
I get older,
All
the
right.
girls stay the exact same age.
All right.
But see, when the first oatmeal cream pie that I got from Little Debbie was like this. It was huge.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And it was only a quarter.
Yeah, I was about to say it cost less. Yeah.
It was only a quarter. And like I said, my sister turned me on to Little Debbie, okay? Me and Little Debbie, as Ryan described best, have had a love-hate relationship for some 30 years. Because they shrunk, we got bigger, and they got more expensive for some god-awful reason. And then they started making cupcakes. They started making cupcakes. I didn't discover the cupcakes until like 7 years ago.
Have you tried the hack where you put the Swiss cake rolls in the freezer?
Yes.
That's the best.
Listen, when I lived in LaPorte, Indiana, I stocked up on those Swiss cake rolls. I bought I want to say 6 or 7 of them. And the clerk who rang me up made the suggestion of sticking them in the freezer. I said, why the hell would I want to stick them in the freezer? He said, trust me. So I did. I stuck them in the freezer. A couple days later, tried one. Oh my Lord.
Yeah, I agree. F Holiday. They shrunk.
They did shrink everything. Hostess too. Matter of fact, somebody be my scribe today and put this in the chat. Question of the day: Hostess or Little Debbie?
Ooh.
Exactly.
Yeah, Victor says the idea of Little Debbie's ice cream scares me because while I'm down for Nutty Bar's ice cream, Twinkie Snowballs, and Ding Dong's ice cream,
I'm not sure about
the Nutty Buddy ice cream is out of this world.
Otherworldly.
Royce says I feel the same way about Hostess and Entenmann's.
You know what?
I love Entenmann's too, man.
Entenmann's
I love
Entenmann's is evil. Entenmann's is bleeping evil.
Royce says how Hostess all day. Same
Let me
thing
explain why.
With Chris Dietz over the Fit Down.
Hey, what's up, Dietz? Let me explain why Entenmann's is evil. When I first went to Terre Haute to see Jody, we went to Kroger, stocked up on some groceries. I didn't know. Jody said, I have a treat for you. So, all right. We were watching college football the next day.
Same,
Holiday said Entenmann's.
Same, brother. Same.
The crumb coffee cake is otherworldly.
Yeah.
Listen, she snuck Entenmann's donuts in the grocery pile that we got. And she pulled them out. And we were watching Oklahoma State play college football that Saturday. And she bust out the Entenmann's. I said, that's not right. And she looked at me and she says, are you refusing or are you going to eat these things? I'm going to eat the darn things. What do you think? Killed that box in 5 minutes. I mean, and then she said to me, look, We got to make this box last until you go back to Michigan City. Yeah, right.
Nope.
Ain't happening.
Nope.
We killed that. Like I said, we killed that box in 5 minutes.
So I was born in New Jersey. I go back and forth every once in a while for family, and they have. I'm not sure if you guys ever had Tasty Cake.
Yes,
I have. Yes,
I
have.
They've thrown Tasty Cake has entered the chat.
Tasty Cake threw me. Listen, Tasty Cake threw me a curveball when I was on a road trip. I was on a road trip, and we went to, where'd we go? We went to Columbia, Missouri. I was traveling with Chicago State women's basketball because I didn't have plans to go. I thought, okay, I'm just gonna have to report on it. Nope.
Right. Nope.
The coach called me and said, "You're coming with us to Columbia to call the game, no matter how we do, because I want that present." Huh? Athletic director called me 5 minutes later. "You're going to Columbia. You need to get here within 45 minutes. And at the time, I lived in Gary. Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
It takes 40 minutes to get from Gary to the south side, to 95th King Drive.
Mm-hmm.
I made that drive in 25 minutes.
Nice.
I don't know how I packed in 45 minutes. I packed my bag, packed my equipment, made sure I had everything, made sure I had my notes, and I got to Chicago State in 45 minutes. I did all that. I made the drive in 25 minutes, broke every speed law in Chicago, and surprisingly, I didn't get yanked over by the cops.
Mm-hmm.
By the time we left to go to Columbia, it poured snow. When we left, it was snowing like crazy. When we got to Columbia, it was 61 degrees.
Oh, wow.
And the coach and me and the bus driver are going, "What the blank happened?" Well, got there and we stopped at a store and I saw Tasty Cake and I had to have it. And when coach says, "Okay, Brian, what did you get?" "You don't want to know, coach. You don't want to know." And that's when she reached in her bag and pulled out her own Tasty Cake. I said, "Coach, you're not fair." She says, "Why?" "Because I beat you to it." And I reached in my bag and I pulled out 2 of them and I said, "Nope, got you twice over." And she starts laughing.
I thought you were going to do a lunchbox trade like I do in elementary school for a minute there.
Man, I wish.
Oh.
Man, listen. Like I said, Tasty Cake has got me on the road several times. When I went to Missouri, when I went to Edinburgh, Texas, when I was on a bus trip to the Bronx.
Yep.
I went on a bus trip to Boston.
Yeah, that New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, like the Mid-Atlantic area. That's where
Tasty Cake was born.
Tasty Cake is there. Yeah.
That's where Tasty Cake was born. So the Jets beat the Steelers. Steelers not going to Super Bowl.
Okay, so
and
I want this to be understood, and I gotta understand this. So the Jets have played all of the AFC North teams.
Yep.
They win the 2 road games against them, but they get skunked in the 2 home games against them.
Oh yeah.
In the eloquent words of one Chris Berman, "Wah!"
I got a better one.
I don't know.
In the eloquent words of Chris Berman, "What?" There's a picture I need to find of him saying that, or I'll put one together. We just need a picture of us going, "What?" And tell me what Zach Wilson was trying to do in the end zone yesterday.
The gritty?
Yeah, gritty.
That was the gritty.
Did he trip over his own feet? Because that's what it looked like.
It looked like it, but Mormons have a different kind of rhythm. I'll just put it that way. Mormons have a different
Listen,
kind of rhythm than
I have admitted
everyone else.
Listen, I have admitted aloud. Wait a minute. I have admitted aloud.
Mormons, Ryan.
Yes. BYU.
It was my
baby.
cover for saying white people. Sorry.
BYU, baby. Listen, I have admitted aloud to my wife and to my children that I have no rhythm. And Jody just cracked up laughing. And she says, "Are you actually trying to dance?" No, because I have 2 left feet and I'm proud to say it aloud.
Not proud to say it.
I am. I have rhythm when it comes to doing play-by-play. I have rhythm when it comes to doing this show, but trying to show it on my feet, not a chance.
No.
And I think it was Cheyenne.
He tried.
My daughter Cheyenne.
He
Listen,
tried.
my daughter Cheyenne said, "Why can't you dance?" I said, "Baby girl, I got 2 left feet." And she said, "You have 2 left feet?" Yes. And she's like, "A black man has 2 left feet." No, this black man has 2 left feet.
There are some who do, yes.
And I'm one of them. And I'm proud of it. I don't try to dance. I can't dance. I don't want to dance. If it's a slow dance with my wife, I can do that. Any other dance, forget it.
So basically, you're like Hitch. You got to do what I'm doing now.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah, that 2-step.
I see. Yeah. Will the Jets ever get it right and win at home? As Ryan rubs his head for a future prediction.
I hope so. I mean, next week they have a decent opportunity next week because they're playing a team whose quarterback whose soul, I'll just put it this way, I'll put it lightly, whose soul left his body on Thursday night, which was absolutely scary. One of the scariest things I've ever seen.
Scary as all.
100% with you, Ryan.
And I'm happy that the unaffiliated neurologist, quote unquote,
got canned,
was fired. So
get out and stay out. But
the thing is, I mean, I gotta give credit to where credit's due. I mean, Jets fans were knocking on Lamar on the secondary over the last 3 weeks. They played pretty well yesterday. 4 interceptions, not too shabby. But they're playing a team whose offensive scheme is predicated on speed.
Mitchell Trubisky and Kenny Pickett. I'm sorry, my bad, Ryan. I mean, that was in my head. I'm sorry, my bad. Yes, the Jets secondary are pretty good. Yes,
Matt Canada needs to be fired. The Steelers' offensive coordinator, if you want to call him that.
Wait, they actually have an offensive coordinator because the offense they already ran.
What happened to Todd Haley?
Horrible.
Did he retire?
That offense. I will use a word. Listen,
offense they run is horrible.
I will use a word that was used to describe me when I got the blisters on the bottom of my feet in June. That offense was anemic.
Oh my gosh! But yes, that's not to take away from the Jets secondary because
no, not taking away.
They did a bang up job yesterday.
Listen, not taking away from the Jets' performance at all. Not at all.
Right.
But that Pittsburgh offense is anemic.
Horrible. Can't run block worth a darn. Bad. They barely can pass protect. And
that was pass protection yesterday.
And it makes the serviceable QBs that they have play worse because they're under the gun.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett is going to get brutalized. And that's being nice about it. And then there's one Mitchell Trubisky.
Who played so bad he had to get pulled at halftime.
Who got drafted by the Chicago Bears after the 49ers fleeced them for draft picks, and they still wound up taking the guy that they wanted, and all they had to do was wait.
I don't understand still to this day why the Bears decided to trade up one spot to get Mitchell Trubisky.
to get the guy that they had been looking at. But that's the Ryan Pace. That's the Chicago Bears in a nutshell.
You lose assets.
This is the Chicago Bears in a nutshell. Help! I'm in a nutshell. Get me out of here. I'm in a nutshell. No.
You lose assets to get the guy you want to trade a one spot.
One spot.
And he was there, 3 years?
4.
But you also got paired with one of the worst head coaches.
Oh yeah,
in Matt Nagy
in modern history.
Supposedly a quarterback whisperer in Matt Nagy.
Supposedly being the operative word.
No,
not a chance.
And they got lucky to go to the playoffs in their first year. They won the division in that first year.
You know something. That double doink against Philadelphia
it was a curse.
Yeah,
describes the Chicago Bears. And there are two events that describe the Chicago Bears in a nutshell. And I'm going to upset a lot of Bears fans when I mention this, but the 2010 NFC Championship was at Soldier Field against the Packers, a team that you should have knocked out anyway in week 17, but you didn't because you only got a field goal in that game. Aaron Rodgers, and I hate saying glowing things about Aaron Rodgers, but I will just tell the facts. Aaron Rodgers took the opening drive, marched it right down your throats.
Probably the best he ever looked.
Marched it right down your throats. And the Bears haven't recovered since. And then the fleecing by San Francisco in the draft for them to trade up one spot. One. And they get Mitchell Trubisky.
Because they were so excited about what he did, not that previous fall, but the fall before.
When he was a backup to Marquise Williams, who I had the pleasure of meeting at Granville Central High School in North Carolina, because that's his alma mater. I nearly had him as a halftime guest, but I got picked off. More on that later. But, man, one spot. I mean, I swear to God, the Bears sometimes operate like the Brooklyn mess.
I still laugh about that. I'm like,
you and me both.
What did that war room think? They must have said, "Oh yeah,
high five." Keyword in that question. You put the keyword in that question. Think,
because I'm sure they were high fives. Like, yeah, we got our man and we got our spot. That's what I'm talking about. And mess their team up in doing so.
Sweet Lord, no.
Didn't Trubisky come out? Did he come out a year early?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was he a senior or was he a junior? He was a junior. Okay.
Junior.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Like I said, he was a backup to Marquise Williams. And Queese
some of these guys
played better. Queese played better than Trubisky.
Please say it, Ryan, because I want to hear it.
Please
All right. I'll say it. Some of these players need to stay an extra year.
Thank you.
Yes.
Amen. Yes.
Because when you come out early, it ruins you. Like you get some of these agents who inflate your ego.
That's especially true in two sports: football and basketball.
Let me name some of those players from recent drafts: Mitchell Trubisky, Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen.
That's right.
Baker Mayfield.
That's right.
Let me think.
And they projected Sam Darnold. Listen,
in the second hour.
And they projected Sam Darnold to win the Heisman one year.
Yeah, he would have won the Heisman.
They projected Sam Darnold to win the Heisman.
If he stayed for his senior, he probably would have.
If he stayed for his senior year,
he probably would have. But the year they projected,
he would have won the Heisman.
But the year they projected Sam Darnold to win the Heisman, he got murdered against the Washington Huskies.
And
not only against
subsequently
Washington,
against Ohio State,
and subsequently against Ohio State.
But yeah,
wait a minute. Royston Gibbs, you quit the Brooklyn mess talk. You know what? I'm gonna flip my snowman. I'm gonna flip my snowman's take at the top of hour 2, which
just for that we're gonna talk about more. So there.
Just for that. Just for that.
Oops, I hit the wrong button.
Oh yes.
Sick. Where's that update? Sick.
Have you seen it? Have you seen this? Put it back up. I'll do the PSA this morning. Have you seen this man? Report him to Snowman in the morning with Cole Johnson. We'll put him on the first thing smoking back to Brooklyn. And he's going to sit this year because of a horrible thing we like to call lack of fashion sense. Oops, did I say that?
That's right.
Been missing since June 20th, 2021.
That's right. We'll put him in Greyhound luggage.
Yeah, we'll put him in the luggage check. And I've ridden many a Greyhound on my road trips.
What's up, Ryan?
So speaking of fun, I did want to address one thing with you guys. So
All right.
yesterday, I decided to after the Packers beat the Patriots in a walk-off at Lambeau Field.
Nice.
I decided to have some fun on social media.
Uh-oh.
And I posted, yep, thank you for the doom scrolling. While I was doom scrolling. So I decided to post on social media on my Twitter account. I said, the New England Patriots, it's October 2nd, and the New England Patriots are in last place in the NFC. And I put a gif of Ron Burgundy saying, "And we are laughing."
Oh no.
So someone comes at me. I think he's a Patriots fan.
Lord. Of course.
Oh no.
And he says to me, "Cole, can you hit the button, please?"
Hit the button.
Quote.
He says, "They're better than the Jets." LOL.
Close quote. Wait for it. Wait.
To which
for
I reply.
It. Wait for. You replied.
Which I reply.
Okay, you replied. Quote.
On paper, maybe.
Ooh.
Close quote, but the two that
Hey.
two
fellas.
that two. But yeah, but to not response, but to the statement that you responded to.
Whiter than Wonder Bread. Oh.
Thank you for
whiter
that.
than
Wonder Bread.
Whiter than Wonder Bread in a Mormon convention.
And you know something, when Cole put that clip in and shocked me and surprised me with it, and then that was the appropriate response. I couldn't even say it. I was just laughing so hard. And then Cole said, "There is a purpose to that kind of laugh."
Yeah, because there was someone who said, "Oh my gosh, that's the whitest laugh I've ever heard." There's a purpose for it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lordy. Cue the Wonder Bread laugh.
I love that, Ryan. I love that. When you said that, I was like, yes, someone gets it.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it too.
Yeah. So we kept going back and forth, and I just in the back of my head, I'm thinking to myself, why can't other fans why can't football fans let each other have fun? Like I was having fun at the New England Patriots expense because I'm a forlorn New York Jets fan.
You haven't been able to do that to Patriots fan in 2 decades anyway.
Not since the playoff game at Gillette Stadium.
Yeah, in intermittent parts in between. But yeah.
Yes. But it's like, can I have fun? Can I have fun for just a moment? Just to say, look, and we kept going back and forth, and he said, "Oh, well, your team almost lost to Kenny Pickett," and we had a third string quarterback to almost beat the Packers. I'm like, Packers aren't very good, A, and B. I said, yeah, and then now look at the standings and look at where your team is, and look at where my team is.
And
Victor is doing this to the AFC East,
and Victor has the best. Victor has the best.
Send me a postcard from last place.
Victor has the best reason because for some reason fandom has become war.
And social media, exactly. Social media has
social media started. Social media started this ish.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm like, man, I come from the let the fans be great for phenomenon. That's the way I am.
Yeah,
because
I love that.
I'll be the first to say to you, I'm a Houston, Texas fan. My team is hot garbage.
Hot garbaginy.
Yep.
I had no qualm saying that. I don't feel bad in saying it, and I don't feel bad if anyone else says it because I'm like, you're speaking facts.
Yeah,
team's terrible.
And they've been
know
hot
my
garbage
team
for a minute.
While. Yes.
Yeah, my team has been horrible over the past decade and change. I know that. You don't need to consistently dunk on my team. I know that, but it's low hanging fruit. The New York Jets are the low-hanging fruit of the NFL when it comes to fandom.
And
that's why I really try to poke fun at them because of that. Yeah.
And my team since 2019 has been lucky as all get out.
The only way I will poke fun at the Jets is if they hire Andrew Gase again.
Don't do that.
Why don't you say his name?
And for that name, I offer this sound. All right. We're at the top of the we're past the top of the hour. That's Coffee with McCarthy. He joins us every Monday at the bottom of hour one.
Always a pleasure, man.
Thank you, my
thanks,
brother.
guys. I appreciate you. Tomorrow night, 7:00. No credentials required. We're
going
going live. We're going to wrap up the week in NFL. So please join us.
Can't wait.
Appreciate it.
Have a good show, my man.
Cannot wait. Can't wait, brother. Thank you.
Thanks, fellas.
Did my partner say hour number 2? Yes, he did.
I did.
Right now. On your mark, get set. Let's go.
'Cause we take this job so serious.
All of it, between 2 people and 4 nostrils, all of it was gone.
LeBron James is pure, unadulterated trash as a basketball player and has been for 20 years.
We don't want to see
that. Wait a minute. We don't want to see
bro. Number 420. YSL. Number 420.
I had to do it. Oh, man, I thought I missed it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
As we continue on the Manic Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, with Brian Snow, I am Cole Johnson. Now let's show some love to the chat, shall we?
Yes.
Yes. A slight correction with Josh Rosen as Dietz, of course, the encyclopedia of all college football. He says, wait,
yes,
Josh Rosen, he was a senior when he left UCLA, that is, and we haven't seen hide nor hair from him ever since he became an NFL quarterback. Playmaker says, I can't wait to see, talking about the Brooklyn Mess talk and Royston.
Oh, when we finish showing love to the chat, we're going to take a break, and I got a lot to say about the Brooklyn Mess.
Oh, Lord.
As a teaser for Cole's Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
I won't even say it.
That's right. Deet says Josh Rosen stayed his senior year, and it was a disaster for him, as been the subsequent years for him to follow. Playmaker says, yes, that's going to be Wednesday. He's waiting for that. Hawk TV.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning to you, my man.
My Washington Redskins.
He says, he said, good morning, y'all, on my missed opportunity Monday for my Washington Commanders.
Oh, God.
Thank you for the Wonder Bread laugh track, sir.
I borrow from you, my dear friend. Washington Commanders? Really?
That name is horrible.
Defense held up for 2 straight weeks, yet our offense was simply anemic. Them, the Colts, a couple of other offenses I can think of, including the Carolina Panthers. But for some reason, fandom has become war. Just look at Cowboy fans, Pats fans, Packer fans, Panthers fans. Oh, we'll eviscerate the Panthers later
this hour. Yes.
We will eviscerate the Panthers. Washington is the 3rd most expensive offense in the NFL, according to the salary cap. So why is it that we suck on offense? 2 words, Carson Wentz.
Well, that's one
and
thing. To me, the lack of continuity. And I hate to say this, I love Ron Rivera. I do.
Yes,
I think he's one of the best in terms of men, not necessarily in terms of strategy. In terms of men, I think he's one of the best head coaches we have out there because you root for him as a man, and if you were to play for him, if you were on his team, you want to play for him. But Ron Rivera-led teams offensively are unimaginative. And I think you're starting to see that now in Washington because we saw that in Charlotte for so long because they decided, okay, well, Cam, get us out of whatever trouble we're in. You know, the offense is in your hands. We'll throw plays at you, but just play as if you're drawing plays in the dirt. Rivera's offenses seem to resemble that. And I don't know why it just seems to resemble it.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And I hate to say that to you, Hawk, but it is unfortunate.
It's a truth. And Joe Gibbs ain't walking through that door anytime soon.
Yeah, good. They would benefit from a Joe Gibbs mind on
Listen,
offense.
Joe Gibbs was the best coach in Redskin history, period. The only other coach I can say that about is Dick Allen, the Over the Hill gang. But Joe Gibbs to me was the Washington Redskins. Period.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to debate there. 3 rings.
Yep. With 3 different quarterbacks.
4 trips. Yeah, 3 rings, 4 trips with 3 different quarterbacks. Yeah, it's hard to argue that. Playmaker
Social media
says
hasn't started the war. It gave the war a platform to show. Yeah. Truth telling there.
Yeah.
Truth telling there.
Hawk giving you a nod, Ryan.
The look at Detroit.
Don't get me started on the Lions.
Forward down the field. I'm sorry.
Victor says I'm the same way with the Bears and those Walmart mannequins
they call an O-line. And yesterday proved that. Shout out to the New York Football Giants.
Vic, let me say this to you, man, and this is come from the heart, bro. The moment I saw Justin Fields hit the field as a Bear for the first time, and they were playing the Bills. This is a preseason game.
They're playing the Bills.
The very first snap, it was a linebacker blitz. Nobody rolled any pressure in his direction. He had a free release and nailed Fields. I felt for him then. I was like, oh my gosh, this offensive line is putrid, and they drafted a quarterback. What were they I'm about to use another phrase, and where you're going to probably chastise them using it in this way. What were the Bears front office thinking?
Yeah. Again, you put the key word in that.
Right.
Thinking.
Playmaker says top 5 offense, bottom defense.
Yeah, which explains why the Lions will forever be where they are.
Unfortunately, their defense helps their offense out because their defense keeps putting them in double-digit holes. It's messed up, but yes, their offense flows beautifully once it gets on track.
Yeah, once it gets on.
Drew says Thomas Edward Patrick Brady II is done.
That
game was embarrassing.
They got cooked in the first half.
I don't know if
the game was over.
I don't know if it's just him that's done.
They need to blow it up.
Blow it up. That offense is atrocious.
They need to do what they need to do at Wrigley Field. Blow it up and start over.
And I think, all right, I have this theory. Most offensive-minded head coaches have explosive offenses, and normally that get it. If they cook, they do well, but if they don't, it gets them in trouble. Just look at Jameis Winston having 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions.
Yep,
while throwing over 5,000 yards. Conversely, when you have a defensive-minded head coach, which that happens to be Todd Bowles, the offense gets rather conservative, even if it's the same crew that you played with the year before, because you're starting to see less shots downfield. You're starting to see more dump offs,
dink and dunk,
and along with the battered offensive line that the Bucs have, the running game isn't quite as effective. It doesn't quite have that same bite. And defensive-minded head coaches normally on offense want to have a running game because they want to have their defense shine. But to your point, Drew, you can't have your defense give up 28 points in the first half.
Especially to Patrick Mahomes,
who made going up against that defense look too easy.
Hawk TV one more time. Facts, playmakers, but they beat my Washington Redskins and had us down 22-0 at the half. See, the more confidence the Cowboys get, the more confident Cowboy fans get, and that scares me. And read option, everyone else, yes, please.
And the point that I made about Bowles, that goes for Rivera too, because he's a defensive-minded head coach too. And it's unfortunate, but that's what you're seeing, man. And I hate the fact you're seeing that in Washington.
They tried Joe Gibbs again, and it didn't go well in round 2. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, the game unfortunately passed them by then.
Yeah. I'm a Giants fan, and Joe Gibbs is a solid Hall of Fame coach. Yep,
yes, sir.
That he is. Cue the angry video game nerd. And yes, I binge watch Angry Video Game Nerd. What were they thinking? They weren't thinking, but I felt the same way. Cool McCain in the house with us. Fly Eagles fly. The only
congratulations to your team 4-0, and another good performance by Hurts, man.
I love the Philadelphia Eagles and what they are doing.
They need to continue to do what they're doing, especially on offense, because their defense looks like they're able to take care of business. I love that.
Speaking of business, Cole, this is cool. This is for you.
As Playmaker also says, congratulations to you.
Congrats at Cool McCain. Be Elite just win undefeated. Yes, they are.
Be proud of that, Cool. Be proud of that. Thank you, Drew.
Eagles definitely have work to do and injury concerns that they do, but 4-0 is 4-0.
And I think if they could keep with the run, if they could keep being physical on offense, I think the defense will thank them later because they're going to be fresher and they probably won't go through so many injuries. But you're right, though. They do have injury concerns, but I don't care, bro. Still the only undefeated team in the league. They're 4-0. They're on top of the NC East, and things are looking good.
I picked the Eagles to win the East.
I did too.
I picked the Eagles to win the East. My wild card team for some god awful reason was the Redskins.
I picked them. Yeah, you changed it.
And the other team that I had picked to be a wild card was the Giants.
Yes. So am I, Cool.
Miles Sanders. Yes.
Because to me, I think that is where the improvement has come. They actually are now starting to trust him to run the ball more. And if that's the case, and he can produce the way he's been producing, and your concern was have him stay on the field, and he stays on the field too, the Eagles, they're going to be making some real big-time noise in January.
And I hope they do. I hope to do. Happy birthday, A. Pizzle. And happy birthday, Ben Sutter III.
Yes, happy birthday, BS.
Happy birthday. Let's pause for a break. And when we come back,
agreed,
I'm going in on the Brooklyn mess.
Oh, Lord.
It's not because I want to. It's because I evilly have to. Back after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Discouragement, sorrow, distance. Your arguments cause damage to your family. The hurt leads to divorce. You feel like there is nowhere else to turn. But there is hope for you. That's where we come into play. There is an overcomer that lives inside of you. One ready to take on the world as you leap for joy, living in victory. You'll grow to love yourself and others. There's life after divorce, and you can claim it today. Get Over Divorce, where your new story begins here every Thursday on YouTube and Spreaker.
Have you had a chance to visit the Snowman in the Morning shop yet? You haven't? Then what are you waiting for? Go to officialsitmorn.com, check out the shop when you type in the word shop, and you'll see things like, a coffee mug that's available, a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, and a whole lot more. And while you're buying items from the Snowman in the Morning shop, you can support the Snow Strong Carolina mission. We got a lot to do and a short time to get there. Go to officialsitmorn.com/shop, check out all of the gear, and wear the same gear that the crew wears. And when you're doing that, tell them Snowman sent you.
I want to show that attainability. I want to show the accessibility of this kind of lifestyle.
From social media to having conversations with friends and family, you always have to put on face and say face.
What brings a smile to my face is the one person that totally believes in me, and that's my beautiful wife, Jody.
I just had to stop because I didn't value myself. I didn't love myself. And it's like, I have to learn to love myself.
Changing the world one conversation at a time. This is Revelations.
Of course, Steph Curry. Tim Anderson. Jordan Alvarez.
And it's caught. Debo Samuel with the catch. Michael Jordan can sense. The throw just got the king.
BS3 Network.
The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold, hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. Because we take this job so serious.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Go ahead.
Oh, man. Rolling along here on this Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning with Cole and the folks in the chat. Snowman here. And let's not waste any more time. Give me my take, please.
All right. Okay, and it starts right now.
Okay. I'm waiting for you to tell me something.
Let me see. Flambe, no. Burnt, no. District, no.
Okay, Brooklyn Mess fans, hear me and hear me well. Your team is a mess, your team is roasted, and your team ain't getting to the NBA World Championship Series anytime soon with this regime. Why? Because they put Steve Nash in a horrible position that he has no business being in. What is that position? Coaching Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. And yes, I put a little blame on Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant was convinced by Kyrie Irving to join the Brooklyn Mess when Kevin Durant had the best situation of his career in Golden State. More on that at another time. When you have a cancerous tumor such as Kyrie Irving on your ball club, you're not going to do much. Okay? When you were predicted by the LJP to become a dynasty and you only have one series win, one
in 3 years.
3 years. And you're not going to have a series. I doubt Brooklyn Mets get to the playoffs this year. And yes, I said it aloud, and I said it aloud proudly. Kenny Atkinson was your coach. Kenny Atkinson was your defensive coordinator. Kenny Atkinson is now with the Golden State Warriors, and Kenny Atkinson, I don't know, won a championship with the Golden State Warriors because the Warriors, unlike the Brooklyn Mets, preach defense. And their defensive coordinator got a head coaching opportunity in Sacramento in Mike Brown, and he's going to turn that team around. I feel it, and I believe it. Back to the Brooklyn Mets. Once the contract was signed by Kyrie 4 years ago, I said then the Nets became a hell. I said it before that when they moved to Brooklyn. And they had no business moving to Brooklyn. But somehow the lure of Jay-Z got to them. Somehow the lure of the Barclays Center got to them. And somehow the lure from Mikhail Prokhorov, who later got the hell out and stayed out, who also said that the Brooklyn Mets planned to be a champion by 2015.
It's The Rock. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
And Golden State took care of that, thank God.
Yo, B.
And
let's go to the next game courtside, baby. The Rock. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
And after 2015 happened and Golden State kicked everyone in the tail, Mikhail Prokhorov said, I'm out. Jay-Z said, I'm gone. And now what do you have? A mess that has happened since with one series victory in the playoffs. Because you're not judged by the regular season unless you're LeBron stans and want to look at 73-9 and say we have the greatest comeback in finals history. Yeah, with a stimulus package that was started by LeBron, but I'll say that for Wednesday.
Thank the Lord.
I will save that for Wednesday, because if I get derailed here and Jay comes on, I'll be in the middle of a rant, and then Jay will show up, and then I'll have to stop. I will save that for the top of the show on Wednesday. Besides, Brooklyn is enough of a soap opera and a comedy show at the same time where I can fill the time needed. And to tease what my partner is going to talk about on Wednesday, once again, the Brooklyn Mess in predictions have leapfrogged the Milwaukee Bucks and have leapfrogged the Boston Celtics. And they are predicted by the LJPN to win the Eastern Conference.
Bitch, are you for real?
I wish I was kidding.
You for real?
My partner showed me the evidence, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, they're going with this narrative again?
You cannot say filth, flying filth in front of people.
I've said worse, and it produced a laugh from my wife and my children. And my children aren't even basketball fans. Matter of fact, one of my kids told me, I love when you go off on these subjects. And I said, why, honey? Because you're being you, and we like the fact that even after surgery, you're being you. I said, oh, thank you. And you wonder why I call them the Brooklyn Mess. Because it's a mess. The Brooklyn Mess are stupid. The Brooklyn Mess are dumb.
What?
The Brooklyn Mess. Okay, let's start at the top. The Brooklyn Mess are stupid.
What?
The Brooklyn Mess are dumb.
What?
The Brooklyn Mess are toast.
What?
The Brooklyn Mess are finished.
What?
The Brooklyn Mess should have never left New Jersey.
Would do the web, but
Damn!
Oh, y'all didn't hear me. Let me say it again. The Brooklyn Mess should have never left New Jersey.
Damn!
You had an agreement to play at the Prudential Center. The Prudential Center in Newark was everything that you need. Nice central hub, nice arena, because the Meadowlands Arena was outdated.
right.
You had everything there. All you had to do was tell the New Jersey Devils, look, we'll share the cost. People will still come to Nets games. And they were. Prudential seats 20,000. 19 for hockey. Same audience dimensions as the Meadowlands.
Mm-hmm.
That seated 20,049 when they were at their peak, and I'm talking about NBA Finals peak.
2002, 2003.
Jason Kidd and the bunch. Even when they had Buck Williams and Michael Ray Richardson, research 1984, Milwaukee Bucks and the New Jersey Nets. Research that series. Research Game 4 of that series that was cleverly called by one Frank Gleber. God rest your soul, Frank Gleber.
I miss him.
So you left all that behind with a fan base that you built first in the ABA on Long Island, and then you moved to New Jersey after the merger, and it took you a while to get the fan base that you wanted. But after you beat the defending world champion Philadelphia 76ers in 1984 at the Spectrum in Philadelphia in Game 5, that's when the fans started coming in because they believed in that team. Didn't do anything after, but at the same time, you were building something. Anybody remember Drazen Petrovic? Anybody remember the time when Chuck Daly coached the New Jersey Nets? Anybody remember Derek Coleman leading the Nets, leading the charge? Anybody remember that? And you left all that behind with then Governor Christie saying, my message to them is goodbye. And Governor Christie, You were stupid enough to let them go. Yeah, I'll say it again. Governor Christie, you were stupid enough to let them go. Okay. Instead of walking up to them and saying, look, I'll get you some money. Either we update the Meadowlands Arena or I'll help you move to Newark. I will fit the bill for a couple of years in Newark while y'all bring in the fans, squirrel away some money, and then you can take the rent from there. That's all you had to do.
Yeah,
that's it.
But see, the Nets, they wanted to be big, bad, and bold, and they wanted to say the following to the Prudential Center.
Bitch, please.
Yeah, how's that working out for you? And I'm gonna say something that a lot of people are not gonna like about it, but I will say it anyway. You brought the team to Brooklyn where not a fan in sight, white, black, or whatever race, know who the Nets are. That loud thud was a microphone dropping. The New York Islanders got the hell out of the Barclays Center at first opportunity. And I'm so glad they did. But as far as the Brooklyn mess goes, it's a mess and you can't do anything about it. Well, you can do something about it, but my question is, do you have the cojones to do something about it? Short answer, no. Long answer, hell to the no. The Brooklyn mess are a mess. They're a soap opera. They're a comedy show rolled up into one. And if you expect them, Nets fans, to reach the NBA Finals this year, you got another thing coming. That's Snowman's take. What's yours? After a break, Jay Spivey joins us to talk the end of Christian McCaffrey.
Red roll.
And there's a reason I said it's the end of Christian McCaffrey.
And he don't feel fine.
He sure doesn't. Even with his performance yesterday. Back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
A TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast.
Steph Curry, Tim Anderson, Jordan Alvarez, and it's caught. Debo Samuel with the catch.
Michael Jordan can sense.
The Fro just got the king. BS3 Network. The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. Hey everybody, Snowman here, and thanks for listening to this episode of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Want to tell you about a little thing we like to call Monkey Knife Fight. Wait, what? What in the world is that, you may ask? Well, Monkey Knife Fight is a daily fantasy site where you can play your favorite games, support your favorite players, and make money at the same time. And right now, if you go to monkeyknifefight.com and use the code Snowman, you will get a 100% deposit match on up to $100 on your initial deposit. Go to monkeyknifefight.com and use the code Snowman for an up to 100% deposit on your first deposit of up to $100. Thanks, and tell them Snowman sent you.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
On Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, and Twitter, it is official SIT Morn. It's official SIT Morn on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram. Rolling along on the Manic Money edition of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I am Cole. Brian's with me here. We await the arrival of Jay Spivey, so we get the Spivey notes.
Mm-hmm. Jay's he's on the way. He is on the way. Let me see if I want to see if I sent him the correct.
Good morning, Latina.
But Latina and Cali, good morning to you. Who else is in the fan chat with us? And our fan chat is presented by Fanatics. Our feedback zone presented by Fanatics, I should say. And want to be sure that we got everything right. I sent him the wrong link. I'm correcting that right now. But man, what?
What's up, Pragmatic Prime? How you doing, man?
Pragmatic Prime in the house. Good morning. Good morning. Who else is here? Sig Diggy's here. Fit Down Sports is here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank all of you and that's joining us on
without them
BS3 Network on Roku and BS3 Live and on YouTube and on Twitch. We thank you all. Thank you guys.
Without y'all, there is no us. And thanks to the folks that are tuning in via the brand new SDM Sports Radio Network. And Friday night, we have our official first play-by-play call as the Panthers of Jefferson County host the Highlanders of Floyd Central. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff with a 6:30 pregame show. And the pregame show will be put together by Eric K's Collision Center. And he's here. Let's go. These are the Spivey Notes powered by Casey's. Get your morning started at Casey's and fill up while you're at it. And Jay Spivey joins us. Good morning, Jay.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing?
We're doing great, man. I'm going to say a statement that a lot of Panther fans didn't like. I said it to you, and you had a 2-foot smile in your face. Christian McCaffrey is finished.
We've been talking about this for 2 years. He cannot stay healthy. When he's healthy, he's one of the most dynamic players probably one the league has ever seen. But he cannot stay healthy. You cannot count on him.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
And that's because of their prodigious talent, it is unfortunate that you can't.
It's very. They have completely focused their team on him, which I understand, but you can't give him that giant deal they gave him a couple years ago.
For
And
a
there was no need to.
thousands, it was for a thousand season that two other backs have already done, and it didn't lead the Panthers to the playoffs, and yet they paid him.
Yeah, I mean, there was no rush to do it either.
None. You could have waited a couple of years.
Could have waited
To
at least
see-
a year.
At least a year. And see all these injuries, and your offense is focused on him. Tell me this. Have the Panthers ever had a true quarterback? And I'm not counting Cam Newton either, because he only had half a good season with them. Have they ever truly had a good quarterback?
Kerry Collins?
In his heyday, probably Jake Delhomme. Maybe Kerry Collins for a year or two, but other than that, not really.
Because Baker Mayfield is not the answer.
No.
But
not even close.
The thing is, here's
but
the funny thing about
there's
that.
another issue too, and I've said this before.
Mm-hmm.
They've had ample opportunity to fix this receiving core. And I don't want to hear about Robbie Anderson. He's not a number one receiver. And you know, we've heard people tell us that he is. He's not a number one receiver.
He's
Thank
not.
you. Because I was going to
not.
ask you, why is it that stuff coming out of Charlotte is that they're trying to sell Robbie Anderson as a number one wide receiver?
It's not even just Charlotte. It's quote unquote Panthers fans, which I say are very few. But they've had ample opportunity. 2 years ago, they could have drafted any receiver in that dynamic receiver class.
Yep.
Got nobody.
Jerry Jeudy was
Instead, you
sitting
draft
right.
a cornerback, J.C. Horn. Why?
I mean, Jerry Jeudy was sitting right there. Devontae Adams was sitting right there, and they drafted no wide receiver.
Nobody.
None. Hell,
Jalen Waddle was right there.
Jalen Waddle was right there. Jalen Waddle. All those Bama receivers, and they drafted
J.C. Horn.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I guess they wanted to work on their defense. And I say this also. And Jay, you and I have talked about this for 2 years. Where's the offensive line?
Well, this goes back to Matt Rule again.
Mm-hmm.
This supposed offensive genius
guru.
that he was at Baylor. It's not showing up in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to cut bait with Matt Rule.
They should have never hired him. They should have never hired him.
David Tepper again has a giant ego.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks he's Jerry Jones.
How many times have we said that on this program?
And I don't respect Jerry Jones at all, but at least Jerry Jones has won some.
Mm-hmm. At least Jerry Jones produced the Super Bowl. 3 of them, as a matter of fact.
Well, I don't even really credit those to him.
Yeah.
Well, and that's
Jimmy Johnson. To me are more Jimmy Johnson.
And that's the problem. Because of that, in the first 2 that he won, he ushered Jimmy Johnson out so that they could say, well, hey, wait, the Cowboys, they won a Super Bowl, and it wasn't Jimmy Johnson's team, it was my team.
And now they won't put Jimmy Johnson in the Wall of Fame or Ring of Honor. I mean,
how
and
absolutely
it's stupid,
ridiculous and petty.
It's dumb.
It's very petty because Jimmy Johnson tells the truth about the Cowboys and they hate it. Cool McCain with a question from the crowd. He may be a number 2 possibility. Isn't DJ Moore supposed to be a number 1? No.
They're at best 2s. At best.
Yep. And you know why the Panthers signed Robbie Anderson? A 92-yard pass from Sam Darnold of all quarterbacks
when he was
against the Cowboys. And that warranted him the contract that he got to be a number 1 receiver? Really?
You've got 2 former Jets on your team. What does that tell you?
Beaten path. That's all I got to say.
And 2 former Jets.
And one of them was on the IR, but
one's on the IR, and Baker Mayfield's headed that way. Listen, Jay and I talked about this. There were 2 great offensive linemen in this recent draft. One of them was named Penei Sewell out of Oregon. The other was Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern. And they were high on the board for everybody. And the Panthers took neither of them.
They passed on 2 offensive linemen and all those receivers in 2020 to get J.C. Horn.
And I
got laughed at for laughing at them.
So,
You and me both.
But I guess it must mean that Matt Rule must know what he's doing.
Not.
He does?
Not.
I mean, let's seriously, guys. I know this is not college football, but we've had now 5 Power 5 conference coaches fired already.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What is taking the Panthers so long to fire Matt Rule?
It's like you said. It's like you said, Jay. Ego.
They feel as though
a David Tepper.
Yeah, they feel
as
though
well as I do. If it were not for this giant contract that David Tepper gave Matt Rule, he would have been gone last year.
They feel as though that Matt Rule can turn it around.
Yeah. They're going to do it with this offense?
No.
Yeah, I mean, look, credit the offense. I mean, Baker Mayfield, he had a wonderful day yesterday. 22-36, 197 yards. Oh, he did throw a couple picks.
And the other thing is, in this game, NFL is
terrible.
NFL is full of tight ends now. They have no tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I watched the Chiefs last night. Travis Kelce is dominant.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And they were basically their offense is kind of Mahomes looks to him all the time.
Yeah.
But
the Panthers have nobody even remotely like that.
To boast of your point, Jay, in that game, their backup tight end scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
Right. That's exactly right.
The game has shifted to where tight ends make a lot of catches now. You mentioned Travis Kelce. You know the other name I'm going to mention, which is George Kittle.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
Kittle loves it. Kittle loves the run block.
Well, look on
more
the other
than
side of the
anything
field.
else.
Look on the other side of the field yesterday. Zach Ertz would be perfect.
Oh, they would. Yeah, he would.
Zach Ertz
Mayfield would
the
need to have
missing-
someone like a Hurts.
Listen,
Hurts on his
Zach
team.
Ertz would be the missing piece.
Yeah.
The missing piece, were it not for the fact that the Panthers do not have a quarterback.
Well, and I'm sorry to mention his name, Jay, but to me, we would not have had Cam Newton be there as long as he was if it weren't for Greg Olsen, who was
Absolutely
a tight end.
And I'm glad you
tight
brought
end.
up Greg Olsen.
Exactly.
A Greg Olsen type is exactly what this team needs.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Olsen was perfect for Carolina as a tight end because Greg Olsen was fashioned in the form of George Kittle.
Mm-hmm.
Loves the run block. He'll catch a couple passes when they're thrown to him. You know, and Latina from Cali says, "Fire Rule, please."
It's time.
What's taking him so long?
It's that contract.
And Cool, who lives in Charlotte, says, "Man, the fans were chanting Fire Rule."
Of course they were.
How many empty seats were at Ericsson Stadium yesterday?
I'm sure there were a lot. I mean, first of all, I understand why it was at 4:00 because of the Cardinals.
I don't
but
know
who
why
cares
it was
about
4
that game at 4:00?
No. I took it. Look, after watching the early games, I took a nap. Chris Dietz from the fan chat. Wesley Walls. Carolina was built by tight end. Wesley Walls was a former 49er.
Wesley
That
Walls,
joined Carolina.
Greg Olsen. They got nobody even remotely like that.
Right.
Listen, after Greg Olsen, their offense really, really went down the tubes.
And that is the one reason why I scratched my head when the Panthers decided to hire Rule, because I was thinking in college
he doesn't
utilize the tight end there. He
Right.
didn't utilize the tight end in Baylor. It was all
Right.
about wide receivers and
It was
quick
all
step
about
backs.
it was all about speed and wide
Yeah.
receivers. He used no tight ends at Baylor. None.
So where are his receivers? And
He
I
doesn't
don't
have
want
any.
I don't want to hear Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore. No.
It was. Let me make a correction. It was Cool McCain that mentioned Fire Rule. The fans were chanting fire.
Well, Cool is right.
Mm-hmm. 9 passes blocked at the line of scrimmage, and they didn't roll the quarterback out of the pocket once. Not once.
And that's
Not
sort of
once.
what. Listen, I'm not Baker Mayfield's biggest fan, but that's his game. He rolls out. He's not a pocket passer.
Yeah. He's mobile. He's a mobile pocket quarterback, and
Yep.
that's always been. He was that way in Oklahoma. Yeah.
And somebody explain Donovan Peoples-Jones to me, please. And the Hawk TV brings this up. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and Donovan Peoples-Jones. These are twos. They're not ones.
Well, I get
at best are they twos.
now. I get why the Panthers got Donovan Peoples-Jones, because they figured, okay, well, the symmetry that supposedly Jones and Mayfield had in Cleveland, it could transfer to Charlotte.
No. They never had symmetry. Here's
But
the
they
problem.
didn't really. But to what I was about to say, what you just
They
said,
never
that's what I
had
was saying.
symmetry
They really
in
did not have
Cleveland.
symmetry except for maybe literally one or two games when they played in Cleveland.
They had no symmetry whatsoever. There is no symmetry between Baker Mayfield and these receivers. And let's get to Baker Mayfield for a moment. We said this before the preseason even began. The reason they brought Baker Mayfield in was to be their starter. Period. Period. Because they were looking at the first game of the season against Cleveland and they choked. They choked that game. They choked that game away. That was a winnable game against Cleveland in Charlotte, and they choked it away. They choked it away.
Well, really, they haven't played anybody yet, really, of any consequence.
That's true.
And they're in the desperate straits they're already in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could trace this back to last year when they started 3-0 against terrible teams, and then the bottom fell out. And they haven't repaired it since.
Yeah.
They played an injury-riddled, confused New Orleans team and beat them by only 8 points. Because New Orleans was going to come back. Had New Orleans had a real quarterback, they'd have come back and won that by 300 points. Easy.
Well.
Yeah, the Saints have no quarterback.
None.
No, they don't.
None.
They don't.
They have a worse quarterback situation in New Orleans than they have, say maybe in Chicago.
Because Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton are not the answer.
They might as well start Taysom Hill. It's that bad. How much worse can they be if he starts a quarterback now? So
and why don't they want to do that? Why do they not want to start Taysom Hill? They're afraid to start Taysom Hill.
I don't think he's a true quarterback.
Oh, not only think he's a true quarterback either, but
he's your best option.
But I mean,
I think he proved last year when he played some that he was not a starting quarterback.
Well, true.
So why don't these teams, New Orleans, Carolina in particular, draft a bleeping quarterback?
Well, look at this division.
Yeah,
the NFC South is horrible.
NFC South is
the quarterback realm.
I mean, even the Bucks they obviously have one of the best quarterbacks ever, if not the best quarterback ever. But watching them last night, they were greatly deficient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have no continuity on offense at all.
And here's the other problem.
They looked all out of sorts against the Chiefs.
And here's the other problem with the NFC South. Where are the running games?
That is except for the Falcons. When they want to run, they seem to actually come up to the plate and run.
Yeah, the problem is they don't do it.
They can't. No, they do it because they did it yesterday to the tune of gaining 200 yards against the Browns.
Well,
the problem is
I'll add a word.
The problem though is you have with the passing game, Mariota going 7 of 19.
I'll add a word then. Why don't they do it consistently? Because all you got to do is turn. And I knew that was the word I was missing in my question. All you got to do is turn in hand to the running back. What's the problem?
Well, part of the Falcons' offense is their running game is kind of predicated on a hybrid running back because Cordero Patterson is not a running back, but they use him a lot of time as a running back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
is this the end of Cordero Patterson yet?
Debo Samuel.
Yes, thank you, Debo Sam. Thank you, Debo Samuel. But the 49ers actually developed that. They developed that when Samuel was a rookie.
And they have running backs. They have a tight end. The Panthers have none of that.
Nope.
And what the 49ers have done with Debo is they haven't completely shut him out of the passing game. They still spread him out wide, unlike with Cordero Patterson, where he's strictly a running back.
He's strictly a running back. And Victor has a great point. This is an NFL problem. No running game, which leads to a question that my partner asked
Victor
2 years ago on this program. Why are teams allergic to a running game?
I've been saying that forever. Now I understand why the Panthers are, because they have hitched their wagon to one Christian McCaffrey. And they haven't been wise enough to draft or pick up free agents that can actually help him and help out in the running game. Otherwise, the Panthers could answer that question for you quite easily, but they can't.
Well, I I hate to keep going back to the Chiefs, but watching them last night, and
It's beautiful.
I'm going to say this for the 8 millionth time last night.
Say it again.
Eric Bieniemy is not the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, even though he has that name.
It's Andy Reid.
Andy Reid is calling plays.
Andy Reid.
He is one of the most creative coaches I have ever seen, especially in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mahomes doesn't run it that much, but he kind of uses his ability to run as an advantage. And they got 2 great running backs right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're cooking. Both of them are. And Pacheco and Edwards-Helaire, they're both cooking. And I've said this about quarterbacks that have the ability to run. Yes, use that ability to have them run, but don't call their number 10, 11, 12, 13 times a game, because you're going to screw up your team if you do that.
Well, listen, yesterday was a prime example in the Panthers game. And I know the Cardinals won, but Kyler Murray runs the ball entirely too much.
Who said that first on this program when he was drafted?
I think we both were in a rush to say it first.
Yeah. Well, we both said it. We both said it.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler Murray is going to ruin his career if it's not ruined already.
And I don't want to make this a racial
because
issue
he runs
either.
entirely too.
Because we hear about Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray all the time.
Gosh.
I don't want to make this a racial issue because Josh Allen does the exact same thing and he should not be doing it.
And I say the exact same thing about him. Yes.
Josh Allen should not be running the ball nearly as much as he does.
No, he shouldn't.
He is by far one of the best quarterbacks in the league, if not the best quarterback in the league right now.
Agreed.
He cannot risk his team's viability as a good team by running the ball all the time.
I heard this question. I'm glad you said this. I heard this I saw this question on social media where it was asked, so if Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson go to the Super Bowl, can we put this running QBs can't win the Super Bowl to bed by now? And I said, wait a minute. Let me hip you up to something. Steve Young won the Super Bowl.
Right.
Colin Kaepernick participated in the Super Bowl, and Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl. Now, the response I got in return was, well, Young had a souped-up team with him. Of course, Cap didn't win it, and Russell Wilson, well, that was a defensive built team. I said, you said running QBs.
Mm-hmm.
That narrative is blown up. It's done. Running QBs have already won Super Bowls, but the question you should ask is, yes, but the question you should ask is, can run pass option quarterbacks win the Super Bowl?
Yes.
The other thing is, can that quote unquote running quarterback throw the ball when he has to?
I offer the example of one Lamar Jackson, and I want to add a term, decision making, because Lamar Jackson had the game in his hands yesterday.
That's unfortunate. That is,
and he also cost them the game yesterday.
That's what's proving to be why you have people out there say, well, Lamar Jackson is deserving the money, because his team at one point had a 20-3 lead and they don't score in the second half.
Well, to me, I mean, I know you're, and it's rightly so. You're got a great example right there. But to me, I go back to what I said about Kyler Murray. He has the same decision-making skills to me because last year he made some mistakes that I was like, what are you doing?
Right.
Exactly.
Especially toward the end of the season. And then why was there a rush to sign him to that giant deal?
Because they wanted him there.
They
want to, quote unquote, lock him in when, and I'm going to say this aloud, he's not the solution at quarterback for Arizona.
No.
And they felt desperate. All these QBs that are being locked down by teams, the Cardinals felt desperate. And then, of course, they looked at last year. They're like, okay, we had double-digit wins. We made the playoffs, although they looked absolutely horrible. And Murray looked the worst of the horrible in that wild card game at SoFi.
Well, I go back.
They felt desperate.
How about the Christmas night game last year?
Yes.
He was terrible.
Look, all I needed to see was that pass he threw early second quarter in that wild card game against the Rams.
That turned into a 5-yard pick six.
The dude was literally perpendicular to the ground, and he still decided to throw the ball.
Exactly.
Into the waiting arms of a Ram DB, and he just, like you said, Brian, waltzed in from 5 yards for 6. And I'm like,
that to me
you got to
was
eat
the
that
end.
and get the safety.
Listen, that to me was the end of Kyler Murray as we know him, because you saw every mistake on display in that one play alone. We're approaching.
And then he decided to pout and basically blame everybody else for all of that, instead of looking in the mirror and say, "Doggone it, man, I messed the team up."
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's no accountability with Kyler Murray. I said that before. Cole has said that before. Jay has said that before. A lot of people are going to argue with us on that, but I'll say it again. There is no accountability with Kyler Murray. They put a clause in.
Thank you.
They put a clause in that said he had to do more work, homework.
Because it's done behind, and media said, I don't need to study.
And then they repealed the call. They repealed the clause because it leaked out before it was supposed to come out.
What is so wrong with putting that clause in the contract? You're a professional. Act like one. Act like one.
But he's not. But he's not. But he's not going to. And we're running out of time. Jay Spivey joins us here every single Monday at the bottom of hour 2. Trust me, we're going to have a bonus segment with Jay Spivey later on this week where we discuss this. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate you. We love you. We'll do it again next Monday.
By the way, guys, how about those Mets? How about those Mets?
How about those Mets? How about
had to throw that in there.
Yeah.
How about those Mets, man?
How about those Mets? And how about those Mariners too? Like we talked about at the top.
Playoffs.
Like we talked about at the top at the top of the show. Thank you, buddy.
All right,
thanks
guys.
a
Thanks
lot.
a bunch. Appreciate it.
To the Fanatics feedback zone. Before we get out of here, we start with the Hawk TV. Lamar Jackson is an ascending quarterback. I know they lost yesterday, but I think Lamar should have ran out the pocket. They either run or throw for the game-winning TV. Well, the Hawk TV is not going to like me for this, but Lamar Jackson's regressing right before our eyes.
I don't know if he's regressing. I think he's stagnant. And the problem with that is he needs to grow. He needs to develop.
Yeah, here's the problem. Greg Roman's your offensive coordinator.
And that will still be an issue for him.
That Greg Roman is still your offensive coordinator. Bitter truth, or we got to say fudge instead. Oh, boy. Cardinals made a huge mistake paying him, talking about Kyler Murray. I'd have traded him. I'd have done worse. I'd have cut him.
I'm surprised they didn't let him go. Seriously.
I'd have cut him. I'd have cut him because Kyler Murray is not the solution at quarterback for Arizona.
With the way he had a stiff upper lip the whole time, I actually thought that the Cardinals were going to say, okay, well, you're not the guy. But then they reward his stiff upper lip and pouty and petty way by giving him that $160 million guaranteed extension.
That clause was because he wasn't studying. Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Andy
Dorff said it on this program. If you pout and whine and moan, you get what you want, especially with the professional athletes.
And not only that bit of truth, not only that, he actually said this out of his mouth to the media. It's like, I don't really need to, brush up on game plans. The game comes to me. And I'm thinking, why are you saying this?
You know who said the same thing? Justin Fields. And tomorrow, tomorrow, my Snowman's take and the Fields experiment, Chicago. Will you please? Tonight, it's the Rams and the 49ers from SoFi Stadium. Is this it for Jimmy Garoppolo? If he doesn't perform, I think the season's over. And tomorrow, I will eviscerate the Indianapolis Colts because I was going to do a double take today. I'll do it tomorrow, featuring Justin Fields and the Indianapolis Colts. We'll wrap up Monday Night Football. I'll have a live play-by-play and reaction to that. And at 11:05 this morning, Drew Willingham joins me on Snowman in the Morning Plus to talk Major League Baseball, the playoffs, and the NFL, because there's a few games that he wants to go over. One more before we go. Murray is playing sandlot football out there, which is destroying the art of quarterback play. And I'll add this to it. This is something Jay has said. The worst coach position, no matter what the level, is quarterback. The worst coached position And nobody seems to be doing a thing about it. And that frightens me. That absolutely frightens me. All right, we're going to go on and get out of here. But as I said, 11:05, Drew Willingham joins me. I made it through a show and I didn't spit out any bad cuss words. How about that? As my partner is deep in thought.
I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
Oh, boy. All right, let's get on out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember,
your dreams don't scare you, then they're just simply not big enough.
Simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. Monday Night Football wrap up tomorrow and quite a few other things. We're out of here. See you tomorrow.
Thank you for tuning in to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts.